What's up, body people, and welcome back to my channel. So today is going to be a different video. Today I thought it would be kind of cool and kind of unique to review the best sellers on the Ulta page. Just give you a collective review of best sellers and kind of debunk all these really popular products and let you know if I think they're worth it. So if you guys like this idea and you want to see more of these, then make sure you give this video a thumbs up and also let me know in the comments below if you want to see a different website like Sephora or what else is there? If you want to see a different website, also let me know. I'm excited. So if you guys want to see my thoughts on some best-selling products at Ulta and if I think it's worth the price, worth the hype, all that good stuff, then please keep watching. Alright, so I'm on the homepage on Ulta, so I'm just going to scroll down to where it says best sellers, and there are 103 pages. Good golly, Miss Molly. So the first one on the list is Tarte Shape Tape. This one has 7,606 reviews. That is crazy. So Tarte Shape Tape is one that I really want to like. This is something that everyone talks about, everyone raves about how it's crease-free, it's full coverage, lasts all day long, and this does give you very full coverage. I mean, you can build it up quite a bit, but this is very drying under my eyes. This does crease on me and just looks kind of powdery. Like it's not the worst concealer I've ever tried, but I just expected a lot more out of it. Okay, going back to the home page, we are on product number 2, which is the IT Cosmetics CC Cream with SPF 50. I did a dupe video. I do a dupe video of all these high-end products. You guys are getting the whole shebang here today. This did not meet my expectations, and I feel like there's probably gonna be a pattern throughout this video. None of these products met my expectations. The whole gimmick with this is that it's supposed to be a full coverage CC cream. It's supposed to feel like a moisturizer. It has SPF 50, which is amazing. I did not get nowhere near full coverage with this. This was maybe, like, from what I remember, being like a light to medium coverage. Now, full coverage is very subjective, and it kind of depends on the person. Like, it kind of depends on how much you have to cover up. I want it to be like full on, hello, I'm here. And it just didn't hold up throughout the day on me. I compared this one to a CoverGirl BB cream, and people were saying, you can't compare this to a CoverGirl BB cream without SPF because the CoverGirl one didn't have SPF. And I do want to debunk this now. You can't rely on the sunscreen in a makeup product to be your sunscreen for the day, because here's the thing, when they test out SPF in the labs, they test out such a large amount, so you may be getting at best like SPF 20 out of this or something, and obviously it's better than nothing. We need SPF every single day, so I'm not discounting that. I think that's awesome, but if you're getting it for the coverage, I wouldn't. Now, some people will swear by this too, and plus $38 for this just kind of makes me go like, you know, so yeah, no. Moving on, Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette, 1,704 reviews, and it looks like it's all 5 stars. There is no way. Another product that I've done a dupe on is this one, and let me tell you, I haven't used this palette since I did that Dupe Better Better featuring that one versus the Beauty Glaze palette. I just don't gravitate towards this palette, and I don't really know why. It's just too repetitive with the crease shades. Like, I just feel like there are way too many golden tan shades and brown shades. And the pops of color in here, I have a hard time pairing with the other shades in this palette. So for me, I mean, it's a really pretty palette, but also the fact that the matte shades, like, I don't know why, but I just have kind of a hard time blending these out. Like, or not really blending them, but just kind of working with them. I just feel like when I use this palette, it takes me forever to do my eye makeup. Okay, moving on down the line. So the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. A primer water just doesn't do it for me. I like the act of actually applying something, like smoothing it over my face. And this just kind of makes me, like, it just makes me feel like there's nothing really happening. Like, it just doesn't give me a primer feel. Okay, the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes 4-in-1 Mascara, $23, 4,325 reviews. This is something I haven't tried in a really long time, so I feel like I'm not gonna stay on this too long, but this was one that I really do like. I do like this mascara, but I feel like from what I remember, I feel like this was more volumizing and separating, but it gave really pretty lashes. I kind of want to try this again, just to kind of remind myself of what I thought about it. I did that with the Benefit They're Real mascara, just kind of like, it just revamped my memory of it. Alrighty, Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place. Look at this. Look how many products I reviewed. 4, 5, 6. We are on number 6 and we are on the 2nd row. That is crazy. Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Foundation, $42, 2,300 reviews. This is a really good foundation. This was actually sent to me from 𝐒𝐀𝐈, so I got to review it for free, which is awesome. Now, this is something that people with oily skin absolutely love. For me, my skin isn't so finicky to where I need something that is super oil absorbing and super mattifying and stuff, but it's a really good foundation. I do like it. I'm not gonna knock it. $42 is very pricey. It's hard for me to swallow that, but if you do have a hard time keeping makeup on, like if you have a hard time with wear and stuff, this would be a good place to start if you are more on the high-end sides. Hopefully we actually get to drugstore products here soon because I'm kind of tired of talking about expensive stuff. MAC Fix Plus. This is something that people have been talking about since the beginning of time. This is a really good facial mist for rehydrating your skin and giving you a really pretty like glowy, dewy look. This, in my opinion, doesn't affect the wear of your makeup. It doesn't improve the longevity of it. It just kind of revives your skin and helps with cakiness and stuff. It kind of meshes everything together. So it's a really good product, but I also feel like there are so many good setting sprays out there now that do that alongside of improving the wear of your makeup. So for me, this isn't a necessity. Too Faced Better Than Sex Mascara. 8,000 reviews. This is a super popular mascara, and this is one that I really, really wanted to like. I want a really good high-end mascara that's not too expensive, that's, you know, kind of easier to swallow. This just wasn't that for me. This gives more volume, but for me, this clumped up really bad. It flaked like crazy throughout the day. It's a really dry mascara, and it, like, I just want an equal balance of everything. I want volume, I want length, separation. I don't know, just wasn't what I expected, but people love this stuff. IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye. I tried this a long time ago, so this has over 4,300 reviews. I don't like this stuff either. God, this is such a negative video. I'm so sorry. It was just way too dewy, way too heavy, thick. It creases like crazy on me. Let's see. I've tried the Urban Decay Naked Skin. Touch on this really quickly. Okay, this was really popular a couple of years ago. I tried it, and for me, it was just very similar to the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. I was expecting something that was just out of this world. It did blend out fine. It did look good under the eyes, but it wasn't spectacular. Like, I just have very high standards, and I don't mean to have high standards, but when I'm paying a lot for something, I expect it to be undupable and super original and just blow my mind. And if it doesn't, it gets returned. So this got returned. So Too Faced Born This Way Undetectable Medium to Full Coverage Foundation. This is one also, okay, 5,200 reviews. That's amazing. For me, this one just looked too oily on my skin from what I remember, and it didn't build up all that great. I don't know, to me, this one just wasn't worth it. Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define. This is one I just talked about as well, and I do like this one. This is $7. This is a relatively new release that has blown up a lot lately, and this one is pretty much a dead-on dupe for Tarte Shape Tape, and you may be wondering why I say that I like this one, but I don't like Tarte Shape Tape, and here's the thing. I've got different expectations for different price makeup. If I'm paying a lot of money for something, I expect it to be, like I said, undupable, super original. I want it to blow my mind. But when I'm paying a more affordable price for something, I'm not as heartbroken by it if it doesn't wow me. But this one was just so similar to Tarte Shape Tape that it's ridiculous. Okay, moving on to, okay, I tried Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade, but I feel like I didn't give it a really good chance. So I'm not going to talk about that one. We're going to move on to Benefit Their Real Mascara, which I just recently talked about in another dupe video. Oh my God, you guys are getting a recap of all my dupe videos. Almost 10,000 reviews on this one. This is an OG. This is one that's been out for a very long time. This one is, it's pretty goals, okay? So it does give me volume. It gives me length. It separates. I feel like so many brands have tried to dupe this, but haven't gotten it quite right because it's, like, you would think it'd be so easy, but the little ball tip is so unique somehow. I don't really know why. It's a perfect little ball tip that just gets in there in the inner corner and the bottom lashes, and it's perfect. NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation, $49, 164 reviews. This is one of those foundations that my makeup just never looked good when I wore it. It didn't build up very well, it didn't blend out really well, and it also just didn't sit on the skin the way I want it to. I just don't like this foundation. It wasn't good. And $50 for a foundation, come the freak on. Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray, $32, 645 reviews, that's all? This has been around for so long. This is the OG setting spray that kind of set the standards for all setting sprays to come. This is a really good one. This is one that does improve the wear of your makeup as well as get rid of cakiness, but I feel like there are so many good setting sprays on the market now that are more affordable than this that it's just no competition anymore. Like, it's not a monopoly. It used to be Monopoly, and now there are just way too many setting sprays out there. So for me, I don't think it's worth it anymore. I love my Wet n Wild Photo Focus setting spray. That's an amazing one. Like I said, the La La Fox is awesome. It's so good. There's just so many brands. Every brand has one, and almost all of them are pretty decent. Moving on down. Oh my God, we're gonna pass a row that I haven't tried. Can you believe it? NYX Micro Brow Pencil. Finally, we're to a bestseller that's inexpensive. So I think I bought this maybe twice, and this was one that I did like. This is obviously a dupe for the Anastasia Brow Wiz, which I haven't tried that one. But for me, my brows are just way too thick, and I'm just way too impatient to use something this tiny because it is a very tiny little precise pencil. Moving on to Benefit Bad Gal Bang Mascara. This is a very new product. Again, this is one of those products that it looks so good on everyone else, but for me, didn't really do a whole lot. Now without makeup, like without a lot of eye makeup on, when it was just mascara, this looks incredible. This gives you crazy volume, crazy length. It does separate a little bit, but for the most part, it does give you a pretty clumpy look, almost too clumpy in my opinion. Like it kind of goes past the border of just being like a good amount. But I mean, without a lot of eye makeup on, it looks fantastic. This just made my lashes look way too clumpy, and whenever I used it, I just wasn't satisfied. And that is it for page 1. So let's move on to page 2 just to see how many things on here that I have tried, because I don't want this video to be too long. I want you guys to, you know, still be tuned in. Okay, I haven't tried a whole lot on here, so we're gonna go ahead and do page 2 as well. So page 1 and page 2 are in this video. If you guys want to see more, let me know. So haven't tried that one. Okay, not Urban Decay 24/7 Glide-On Pencil, $20. Again, I feel like this is one of those products that was an OG back in the day, and it kind of set the standard for eyeliner, but this is nowhere near as good as my drugstore eyeliners. People swear by this stuff and just swear by how it stays in the waterline. It smears and fades. I never did like it. I tried it way back in the day when, like before YouTube was even a big thing, and didn't like it then too. So needless to say, my taste has not changed. Okay, Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer, $36. Again, another OG. And I just don't like silicone primers like this. This just feels very greasy and very slick on my skin. It's just too basic for me now. Like I want something that does a little bit more. This doesn't fill in my pores like it's supposed to. It doesn't blur my skin or anything. It just feels too clear. I want to actually see something going on my skin. I know it sounds really stupid, but I don't know. Like I want to see an automatic result or like some kind of effect from something, and this just doesn't do it for me. Let's see, Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette, $42. 5 stars and over 3,000 reviews. I'm kind of out of this phase right now. I'm kind of getting more away from this palette. I haven't really used it a whole lot here in the past few months, but I've talked about this before. There are pros and cons to this palette, and I feel like the cons that I've had with it, no one else has really talked about, but I feel like this is very pigmented. It's very smooth and buttery, and it's fairly easy to work with. But here's the thing. I feel like the berry and red tones in here are very unique, and the other shades in the palette don't complement it enough. I feel like this palette needs more pinks, it needs more purples, different mauve shades. This just doesn't, I don't know, like I'm just not as impressed as I used to be with it, because I feel like there are just way too many normal colors in here, like just way too many tan shades. I mean, there's only like 3, but you know what I'm saying. Like it's the other shades in the palette aren't as unique as the focus of it. So there's that, and then there's also the fact that I feel like when you layer these, they kind of cancel each other out. Like the pigment is so intense on these. They're almost too intense and too pigmented, but I do like the palette. It's a good palette, but there are a lot of dupes out there for it now, so it's almost not worth it anymore. Morphe 35O. I used to love this palette. Again, I'm out of the warm orangey tones right now. It's just, I'll probably get back into it during the fall, but right now I'm just not into this. I'm just out of warm tones right now. But also, looking at Morphe palettes, you know, I haven't really bought one in a really long time aside from the Jaclyn Hill palette, which was actually a gift, but I feel like they're too repetitive. Like, look how many dark brown shades are in here. You got 15 just normal light tan shades, and then you got about 15 bright orange shades, and I just feel like it's very monochromatic, and all the shades start looking the same on the eyes, so I need a little more variation from you, Morphe. You can do better. Okay, we are passing a few rows. Look at that. Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. Thank God, finally something drugstore again. I love this stuff. First of all, $15. Oh my God. When did it get so expensive? But this is a beautiful blending formula. I mean, it just looks so nice and so natural and effortless on the skin. It's very just soft looking. It's not too matte. It does have a slight little bit of a sheen to it, but not shimmer or anything. Urban Decay All Nighter Liquid Foundation, $40. Here's the thing. I like full coverage that feels lightweight on the skin and is easy to blend out and almost feels like a lighter coverage foundation. This one feels like a full coverage foundation, and it does have a matte finish. I'm not super into matte finishes. Benefit Professional, from what I remember, we'll just touch on it really briefly. This didn't fill in my pores. It didn't really do a whole lot for me. It does have a tint to it, but I mean, some people swear by this. I know Tati swears by this. It doesn't work for me. NYX Total Control Drop Foundation. Okay, goodie. This is one that I kind of go in and out of. So I do like what I can do with this. It says it's a velvety matte finish, and I definitely feel like that's what it is. Like, that does describe it pretty well. But if you like a full coverage like me, you're gonna be using half the bottle in each sitting. I just feel like for $14, it's just way too expensive for me to go through it that fast. I haven't gone through it yet, but I will say, this is really, really good to use as a mixing product. This has an amazing shade selection. I think they actually just added some more shades too. But super deep shades, super light shades. You can really customize any foundation with this. And it also gives you a little bit of coverage as well. Some people compare this to the Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drop. No, Custom Cover Drops, yeah. The one with the actual pigment. No. These are really thin and very, very watery. For me, I just use way too much of it to use alone as a foundation. So I still use it as a mixing product. Morphe 35F Fall Into Frost palette. I was so excited about this palette when it came out. This is $23. This is, again, just way too many of the same shade. There are just way too many duplicates in here. 6 different burgundy shades, about 6 or 7 different bronzy shades, about 10,000 champagne gold shades, just way too much replicates of each other. So I just don't like that palette. And plus, I feel like the new formulation of Morphe palettes is just almost way too pigmented, and I feel like they're really good swatching palettes now. They're good for social media, but as far as performance, I personally don't feel like they're as good. What are you doing? Okay, moving on before I was rudely interrupted. The Too Faced Hangover Face Primer I tried. It was okay. Some people swear by this. I've said that about everything. But some people act like this really plumps their skin and it's very hydrating. For me, I didn't really get that big of an effect with it. Last product on the lineup is a Smashbox Studio Skin 15-Hour Foundation. This is one that has really been under the radar for a very long time. I worked at a makeup store that sold it back in high school, like before it even became a big thing to review stuff on YouTube. I sold so much of this stuff, and I remember putting this on people all the time. It's $42, which, you know, makes me cringe, but this is one of those foundations that is top notch. Like, it's a really good foundation. You can get full coverage out of it. It's very thin, it's very lightweight, and I actually tested the waterproof plane with this because it's supposed to be waterproof or water resistant, something like that. And I took a shower in this just to test it, like just so I could go to the makeup store and be like, yeah, this is actually waterproof. Oh my God, I'm a nerd. It's one of those that it's gonna be good for all skin types. So that is it for this collective review of bestsellers on the Ulta website. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it unique and helpful and just kind of different. Like, I just want to do something different. I know it's kind of redundant because I had talked about these products before, but a lot of you guys are new to my channel, so you probably haven't watched my older videos, and some of these are kind of like Easter eggs and kind of hidden in videos that aren't specifically talking about just that. So there you go. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you thumbs it up and give it a like if you did, and to let me know if you want to see more of these. Subscribe to my channel. I have a button right down there. Click it and it's magical and you won't regret it, because this is a great place to be and it's super fun all the time. And I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Mwah.